but they're all related generally to recovery from violent crime. If someone needs, for example, a ramp to their home because they become paralyzed, that's the type of thing that could be covered. But stolen property, no. Let me get back to the procedures. The main thing is to know where the program is and how to access it, and to get the application, and so the victim can file that timely claim. So how to find out? We have a website. Our national organization has a website. I'll give you that website address. It's www. And it's the initials of our organization, NACVCB.org, National Association Crime Victim Compensation Boards.org. And we have a program directory there that you can go right to the website of all of these state programs. So if you're working in Wyoming, you'll find your way to the Wyoming Compensation Program. And all of these state programs have websites of their own where details about their requirements, their benefits, and their procedures are readily available. I do encourage you to check that out, and if you would like, I am sure if you contacted the state program manager in any of those states, that they would be happy to talk to you, to explain their program. It helps them if you're out there providing good information to victims, and so I'm sure they would be happy to talk to you. And of course, I would as well. You can find information about how to contact me on our website as well. Again, I can't emphasize too much that you're the crucial link in how crime victim compensation programs work. Victims don't know about this. Unless you tell them, they're not going to know about it. They may go, as this family in Indian country did, for months and years without knowing that financial help could have been available. And paying for medical bills, paying for counseling costs, paying for funeral bills, lost support, lost wages, these can be the crucial things that help a family or an individual recover from the costs of crime and move on in their lives. So I hope that helps you understand crime victim compensation. Again, contact your state program. I urge you to take this as one of the roles that you need to have as you work with crime victims, dealing with the physical injury, the emotional trauma and that injury, but the financial injury as well. It's real important for victims to know about this program, and you're the one that can do that for them. Thank you very much.
Great. That was terrific.
Probably short, too.
Really good. Perfect. Hit the right points. Driving thing, and maybe I wasn't listening completely, but I wasn't sure if the driver was the drunk person.
Okay.
You know,
I could do that
You
one
wanna
again.
just do that
Sure.
maybe there a little one more time? This was, you did an awesome job. I mean, really, that was perfect.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Really.
All right, I'll try again. Ready? Let me give you one more illustration. Let's take a drunk driving crash that might occur on in a national park. So the driver of our car and his family are hit by a drunk driver. The driver of the car that is hit is not drunk. I want to be clear about that. If you're drunk and you cause your own injury, you're not likely to get help from the state compensation program that requires that you not have committed a crime or done something substantially wrong to cause your own injury. But if you're the victim of drunk driving, as if you were the victim of an aggravated assault or some attack, a rape, a domestic violence incident, you could be eligible for these benefits. So in this situation, our driver is killed. This is the victim's family. His spouse is injured. His 2 children are injured too. What might they need to help them recover from this devastating crash? Well, obviously they need funeral bills paid. That can be paid for by the state crime victim compensation program. The spouse that was injured and the children who were injured might need help paying for the medical bills that will ensue as they recover from their injuries. What about counseling? Perhaps they need grief counseling to get over the loss of their father and their husband. That can be covered by the compensation programs. I've lost my place.
Just go ahead. I think
Did that kind of cover it? Okay. You know, another thing I didn't cover is that there are limits.
yes.
Should I do something about that?
The limits, and also you might want to talk about, because people complain about the bureaucracy. So
Okay.
I don't want them getting the idea that
Sure,
they're
sure,
gonna
sure.
walk in and it's going to be
Sure.
super easy.
Sure, sure. Let me
and
try to do that.
whatever they wanna-
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Now, there are limits to these programs. Each state does have a maximum on what it can pay. Typically, it's about $25,000. A few states pay less than that, and a few pay more. So each benefit also may have a limit on it. There may be a counseling limit. There may be a limit on lost wages. So it's important to know that these are not unlimited programs. They don't become insurance programs for victims in the long term. They're there to help with the immediate costs of recovery and some of the short to intermediate and perhaps long-term costs when it comes to counseling and medical bills. Now, the programs do have procedures to follow. It requires the filing of an application. The applications can be several pages long. They do require attention in filling them out and providing the accurate information. Bills must be submitted, insurance information if that's a part of the victim's resources that can help pay for these things. So there is a paper process that must be followed. The compensation is not going to come overnight. There are some programs that do pride themselves on being able to turn these things around very quickly. Others, perhaps with less staff or less resources, it may take more time. When you contact your state program, this might be something you want to check with them so that if it comes up in working with victims, you may be able to tell them what their expectations might be. So again, it is a process. You can help the victims crucially just by telling them about the program. If you can help them get into the process and filling out the application form and working through the process with them, that can be very helpful too.
Perfect.
Okay.
That was great, really. No, you nailed it.
Okay, well, it's always new.
I appreciate
How far are you into the project? Do you have, how many people are doing the taping?